Folks, let's talk about the weather. Not just the usual ups and downs, but something brewing on a much bigger scale, something that could change the way we experience the next few weeks. If you've felt that extra bite in the air, or noticed the days growing shorter and the winds picking up, you're not imagining things. There's a reason for that chill creeping in, and it's not just the calendar flipping toward winter. There's a growing buzz among meteorologists, a sense of anticipation and even a little concern. The polar vortex, that infamous swirl of icy air high above the Arctic, is stirring in ways that have experts watching closely. Weather studios are lighting up with discussions, and headlines are starting to pop up, warning of a possible shakeup in our usual winter patterns. Normally, the polar vortex is locked in place above the North Pole, acting like a fortress that keeps the coldest air bottled up far to the north. But, this year, something unusual is happening. Satellite images and atmospheric models are showing signs of a major disruption, a split in the vortex itself. This split could send a surge of Arctic air plunging deep into the United States, not just for a day or two, but potentially for weeks, starting later this month and stretching into December. So, what does this mean for you and your community? It means a dramatic shift is on the horizon. We're talking about frigid temperatures that could arrive much earlier than usual, the season's first significant snowfall for many regions, and a clear, unmistakable sign that winter is making an early entrance. You might find yourself reaching for that heavy coat sooner than you expected, and those first flakes could be just around the corner. But this isn't just about a single cold snap or one big storm. What we're seeing is a large-scale pattern shift, a fundamental change in the way air is moving across the continent. This shift could shape our weather for weeks, bringing not only cold and snow, but also the potential for more frequent storms and unpredictable conditions. It's a reminder of how interconnected our planet's weather systems really are. Behind the scenes, computer models are lighting up with data. Scientists are tracking a remarkable warming event in the stratosphere above the Arctic, a sudden burst of heat that's destabilizing the polar vortex and pushing cold air southward. This kind of stratospheric warming doesn't happen every year, and when it does, it can have dramatic consequences for weather patterns far beyond the Arctic Circle. Imagine the polar vortex like a spinning top balanced and contained. When that balance is disturbed, when the lid comes off, the cold air wobbles and spills out, cascading southward, and right now the United States is directly in its path. This isn't just a meteorological curiosity, it's a real-world event that could affect millions of people, from the way we dress to how we travel and even how we heat our homes. In the coming days, we'll break down exactly what the polar vortex is, why a split matters, and what it could mean for your local weather. We'll also share practical tips on how to prepare, whether it's winterizing your home, stocking up on essentials, or simply staying informed as the situation develops. Knowledge is your best defense against the cold, and we're here to help you stay one step ahead. So grab a warm drink, settle in, and get ready. Because winter's knocking at the door, and this year it's arriving with a shiver and a story to tell. Stay tuned as we explore what's next on this chilly horizon. To see where we're headed, let's look at early November, a classic case of weather whiplash. The east was hit by an Arctic blast with temperatures 15-25 degrees below normal, and the first snow of the season from the Ohio Valley to the northeast. The mountains got several inches, while the Great Lakes fired up their lake-effect snow machine, burying some spots under more than 10 inches. Meanwhile, the west stayed warm and dry, creating a sharp temperature divide across the country. This early cold snap was a test run, showing the door to the Arctic is already open. Now, with the polar vortex disruption looming, that door is about to be blown wide open. The week ahead is truly a tale of two coasts, with the nation's weather split dramatically between the west and the east. As we move through mid-November, the U.S. finds itself under the influence of powerful contrasting systems that will shape the week's weather story from shore to shore. On the West Coast, residents are preparing for a series of intense storms. From the Bay Area northward, heavy rain is expected to drench cities and towns, raising concerns about flooding in low-lying areas. Meanwhile, in the Sierra Nevada, several feet of fresh snow are forecast, blanketing the mountains and transforming ski resorts into winter wonderlands. This influx of precipitation is not only a boon for winter sports enthusiasts, but also a much-needed boost for regional water supplies, helping to replenish reservoirs after a dry spell. Meanwhile, the East is facing its own set of challenges. A strong low-pressure system over the Great Lakes is funneling cold air southward, setting the stage for a classic November chill. Offshore, a developing nor'easter threatens to intensify, potentially bringing gusty winds and heavy precipitation to coastal areas. In upstate New York and Vermont, the combination of cold air and moisture could trigger significant lake-effect snow, coating roads and neighborhoods in a fresh layer of white and making travel hazardous. By the middle of the week, the nation's weather pattern undergoes a dramatic flip. A deep trough digs into the west, ushering in cooler air and unsettled conditions, while a ridge tries to build over the east, hinting at a brief warm-up. However, the northeast remains stubbornly chilly, thanks to a persistent negative phase of the North Atlantic Oscillation, which keeps cold air locked in place and delays any real thaw. Around the 18th, attention shifts to the central U.S., as a new storm system tracks through the Ohio Valley. This system brings a mix of rain and snow, with Michigan and Pennsylvania likely to see wintry precipitation. Commuters should be prepared for slick roads and changing conditions, as the storm's impacts ripple eastward. The West isn't done yet. Another major storm fueled by a powerful atmospheric river slams into the Pacific Northwest in California, unleashing torrential rain, massive waves and the risk of flash flooding. This surge of deep Pacific moisture doesn't stop at the coast, it pushes inland, spreading rain and snow into the central states and setting up a dynamic, fast-changing weather scene. All these moving pieces, shifting fronts, surging moisture, and battling air masses, are working together to set the stage for a significant pattern change across the country. Meteorologists are watching closely, as these developments could signal a new phase in the nation's weather story. As the week draws to a close, the country stands on the verge of a dramatic weather shift. From the storm-battered west to the chilly, unsettled east, Americans everywhere should stay alert and be ready for rapid changes as November's tale of two coasts continues to unfold. As Thanksgiving approaches, all the atmospheric ingredients converge for a high-impact storm and a return to cold. Around the 22nd-23rd, a powerful low spins over Wisconsin, dragging a strong cold front across the country. Warm, moist Gulf air clashes with surging Arctic air. Fuel for severe storms in the south and deep south, including tornadoes. Behind the front, Arctic air floods the plains, Midwest and East, setting up a major, long-term cool-down. The timing means millions will face wintry travel for the holiday. A positive Pacific North American pattern locks the cold in place, keeping the West warmer and drier while the rest of the country bundles up. Get ready for a true winter preview lasting into December. The polar vortex, a dramatic name for a normal feature of our atmosphere. It's a vast spinning pool of frigid air high above the poles, usually fenced in by strong winds. When stable, it keeps the cold locked up north and our winters relatively mild. But when it weakens or destabilizes, the jet stream wobbles, and Arctic air escapes south. The vortex itself is miles above us, but its disruptions shape our weather on the ground. It's not unusual for the vortex to exist. What matters is when it's disturbed. That's when we get those headline-making cold outbreaks. Now, let's talk about the polar vortex split. A dramatic event triggered by sudden stratospheric warming. When atmospheric waves crash into the stratosphere, they rapidly warm the air above the Arctic, destabilizing the vortex and sometimes splitting it into smaller pieces. These daughter vortices can wander south, dragging frigid air with them into North America and Siberia. The result? Our most severe and persistent Arctic outbreaks. There's a time lag. The split happens high up, then takes a week or two to impact surface weather. Forecasters see signs of this warming event starting around November 18th to 20. That means the real impacts, intense cold and snow, are likely to hit the U.S. in late November and early December. The stage is set for a major winter event. To understand the coming weather, meet the AO-NAO and atmospheric rivers. The Arctic Oscillation, AO, reflects the polar vortex's strength. When it's negative, cold air escapes south, just what's forecasted. The North Atlantic Oscillation, NAO, is key for the East Coast. A negative NAO blocks warmth, locking cold into the northeast and fueling big snowstorms. Both AO and NAO are going negative, signaling Arctic air is on the move. Out west, an atmospheric river, a fire hose of tropical moisture, will drench the Pacific Northwest and dump heavy snow in the mountains. This moisture then feeds the developing storm system in the nation's heartland. These climate patterns are the hidden drivers behind the dramatic weather shifts ahead. Watch for their influence as the pattern unfolds. So, who's in the crosshairs as this powerful winter system sweeps across the country? Let's break down who's getting the cold, who's getting the snow, and who needs to be on alert for other wild weather after the late November storm rolls through the central and eastern U.S. Stretching all the way from the towering Rockies to the busy Atlantic coast, we'll be plunged into a deep freeze. Temperatures are set to drop well below average, and this cold snap isn't just a quick hit. It's expected to linger, gripping the region through Thanksgiving and well into the start of December. For millions, this means bundling up, bracing for icy mornings, and possibly the coldest holiday in years. The West's mountains, especially the Rockies and Sierra Nevada, are in for a major snow event, with feet of fresh powder piling up. Meanwhile, the Midwest and the Great Lakes region are bracing for significant snow accumulations. Cities and towns here could see blizzard conditions, with howling winds and whiteout visibility. Lake-effect snow will add to the totals, making travel hazardous and shoveling a daily chore for many. On the West Coast, the story is a mix of heavy rain and mountain snow. The Pacific Northwest and Northern California will see relentless downpours, leading to slick roads and the risk of flooding in low-lying areas. In the higher elevations, snow will blanket the mountains, creating beautiful winter scenes but also travel headaches for anyone heading over the passes. Down in the south-central states, the collision of warm, moist air from the Gulf and the advancing cold front sets the stage for severe weather. This means the threat of powerful thunderstorms, damaging winds, and even tornadoes. Residents from Texas to Oklahoma and into the lower Mississippi Valley should stay weather-aware, as conditions can change rapidly. The southeast will see some rain, but the heaviest precipitation stays farther north and west. For most in this region, it's more about gray skies, occasional showers, and cooler than normal temperatures, rather than major storms or snow. In summary, almost everyone east of the Rockies will feel the chill, with snow, ice, or storms depending on exactly where the big system tracks. Whether you're shoveling snow, scraping ice from your windshield, or just bundling up against the biting wind, this early winter blast will be hard to ignore. It's a classic early winter pattern, intense, widespread, and lasting. For many, it's a reminder that winter is here to stay, at least for now, and that it's time to prepare for whatever the season throws our way. The atmosphere is setting the stage for winter's dramatic opening act. Now's the time to prepare, check your heating, seal drafts, and get your winter gear ready. Keep an emergency kit in your car, and stay tuned to local forecasts, especially if you're in a snow or storm-prone area. This pattern shift shows how a warming event above the Arctic can trigger a snowstorm in Chicago or a freeze in Atlanta weeks later. Understanding these global connections helps us prepare, not just react. Whether you love or dread winter, this is nature's reminder of its power. Stay informed, stay safe, and keep that hot chocolate handy. The Arctic is arriving early, and it's here to stay. That's the weather for now, folks.